We've all seen this before. We celebrated like no other when Georgia went down. We were the kings of college football again. We read into the press clippings. We believed all of the talk about going to the Natty. And then we had a severe drop-off. We started questioning who we were, what it was going to look like the rest of the way out. And now business has picked up. So my question right now is, how does Alabama avoid another letdown? I will go ahead and say this. There's something different in the air this time. I say that. What are you seeing right now from these guys that tells you there's something different and there's not going to be a letdown this time around?
To avoid a letdown, you can't forget about the first half of the season. Vandy should be part of your motivation. Tennessee should be part of your motivation, because these are the things you don't want to happen again. What you did on Saturday, yeah, that was all fine and great, but you also got to look at what you did in the beginning of the season, and how did you get from where you were then to where you were now, and how do you continue to build upon it? That starts with the leadership, establishing and maintaining that culture and order and keeping everybody on the same page. That starts with practicing every day like it's a game day. Refining your craft, making sure you're not taking plays off in practice, because the way you practice is the way you'll play. You practice like crap, you're going to play like crap. So again, it's just a matter of what's important to them as a team right now. It's what's going to drive them to taking those next steps. And what it should be with this new 12-team playoff, those losses shouldn't even be in their mind in terms of affecting where they're going to go, because they're not. Their destiny is in their own hands. Right now, they just got to own it. But they also got to remember there was times in the season when they didn't own it, and what can happen when you don't own it. Great job. Hats off to this team. The way they responded was impressive, because nobody picked them. Everybody wrote them off. And going into Death Valley is not an easy place to play. So I'm extremely pleased with the steps that they took. I say they took 5 steps in the right direction. Now we just got to go into this Mercer game, lay the law down. Don't let up. Lay the law down. And then these last 2 kick in their damn doors in Oklahoma and Auburn, and we're going to go do what we need to do after that.
This team has finally found their identity. Now that you found your identity, now you can build off of that. This team that I saw Saturday, they were playing like they can't be beat and nobody can mess with us. And they can only get better. I believe after that game, I think they celebrated a little bit, and now they smell blood. They see what they can do to a team that was just as athletic as they were. And I think the struggles that they had, I think they were having problems buying in. But now that they've bought in, it's like, okay, let's go do this. So I'm excited for them, man, and I really see some big things.
One of the things that you don't want, and I know that we're talking about letdown, is letting down when you are playing at your best. And when you're coming off of a game as such that you played on Saturday, the thing that you want to do, I want to get right back into that mode of playing. A natural letdown is when you have a team that's inconsistent and you have a team that lacks maturity and lacks leadership. That's where you see the letdown come in. And still yet, we think we know this team, and we just saw one game where we say, that's the team that we thought we were going to see all year. But we only saw it once last week. Even in the Georgia game, we didn't see a performance like this. In the Georgia game, we barely escaped that game with a W. In this game, after about the 3rd or 4th series, you could have walked away and said, wow, this is a beat down, a physical butt kicking. We'll see what this team is by the way that they come out on the first few series, and they'll tell you exactly how they're going to play for the rest of the year, because you just found out who you are last Saturday. So just build off of it and go out and play.
This team is buying in, right? That makes them very dangerous. What also makes them dangerous is they found their identity smoke. That was probably the biggest takeaway from this previous game. A team that is bought in, a team that knows who they are and has the confidence to execute everything in front of them, makes them very dangerous. LSU found out we bullied LSU. So talk to me, with all those things given, why Alabama is not going to have a letdown this second go-round.
We saw 2 pictures of Kalen DeBoer in this situation. We saw the Kalen DeBoer after the miracle play against Georgia to win that game. Xavier Brown gets picked. and Kalen DeBoer comes off the field relieved. He's smiling. Everybody's talking. Toast the town. Kalen DeBoer. He beat Kirby. Kalen DeBoer. And at that moment, DeBoer didn't quite know how to handle that. It was the first win against Georgia. It was the first win over Kirby Smart. It was on, College Game Day had it. It was everywhere. And I think not understanding how to handle that moment, it led to that net down because they celebrated a bit too much after that.
Yeah.
And DeBoer kind of allowed, hey, celebrate a whole lot. After this game against LSU, you saw him come off the field, not just confidently, but understanding the moment this time. He's like, look, we'll celebrate for about 2 seconds, and we got to get back to work. Our backs are still against the wall. We still got something to prove here. 2 different pictures of Kalen DeBoer, 2 different moments. He now understands the magnitude of, I'm at Alabama. It took him a while to get it. It took a minute to understand it. I think now Kalen fully gets it. I'm at Alabama. There's a different mindset that goes into this. And I think that's the reason why you don't have a letdown. It's the head man knows. There's a different mindset now.